I'm guessing if you're in education, it's because you wanted to make a difference. You need to be in a school where you can contribute meaningfully and not in one that's getting in your way of you doing that. Finding a place where your meaningful contributions are not only valued but supported. The first step to that is finding out what type of educator you are. Are you an expert, a coach, or a counselor? Now, all three ways are meaningful roles to contribute in education. However, one of them is like your home base, your center of gravity, the role you're most comfortable in, and the one where you do your best teaching. There is a link to a more detailed survey to narrow in exactly what type you are, but I'm going to share the 3 questions that for most people help them identify which of the 3 types of educators they are: expert, coach, or counselor. And here are the 3 questions. First, who gets to decide how you teach? An expert educator prefers that it is them themselves who get to decide. A coach typically likes being part of a larger team, so it's the staff who decides for them. They are one member in a team that's larger than the sum of its parts. And for the counselor, it's the student themselves who negotiates what and how they learn. Question number 2. Now let's zoom in and look at an individual lesson. What are we relying on to inform what a lesson looks like? For the expert, we prefer to rely on our professional discernment. For the coach, it's data. Data drives the decisions we make in the classroom. Or for the counselor, it's meaning, the student's individual meaning and what's authentic and relevant to them. Now, already you're probably imagining, hey, I can see a bit of myself in all 3 of these. And yeah, that's true. I feel the same for myself. Of course, throughout a week, a month, or a year, we have certain moments of all 3 of them. But there's probably one of them that we spend most of our time in. Finally, to get abstract for a second, if education were a journey, which of the 3 describes your desired role as an educator? For the expert, they're the person who gets you to the finish line. For the coach, they're the ones pushing you to do your personal best. And for the counselor, you're side by side creating a personal pathway. Now, this 3 types thing might feel like a bit of a silly personality test at first. However, I'd argue that these 3 types actually point to a right-in-our-face yet invisible reason for everything that goes right and everything that goes wrong in schools. Either our schools and the people are offering the best version of an expert, coach, or counselor education, or they're not. And I'd say it's better to do one type well than spread yourself too thin and do 3 of them in a mediocre way that leaves everyone unsatisfied. It's important to know what type of school you are in now and whether or not you're a fit for it. And if you are a fit, how you can expand and make it the best version of that type. There's a link below to another video that will help you find out your school's type. And if you'd like tips for how to go from exhausted to energized in education, sign up for our newsletter. The link is below and it's filled with practical advice. For example, how you can use the types to interview better to find schools you need to be in, or how to communicate with other types to avoid misunderstandings and conflict. So there are 3 things waiting for you in the description. A detailed survey to find out for sure which type you are, a video to help you find out what type of school you are in now, and the link for the newsletter that will deliver free tips, tools, and toys for you to apply to help you sustain being someone who can contribute meaningfully in education.